Vinland Saga Season 2 for many people was their most anticipated anime not just of this winter season, but of the entire year. And it makes perfect sense why. Season 1 was phenomenal, and it ended on a bit of a cliffhanger onto what would happen next. And so far, Season 2 has been nothing short of amazing, and this latest episode, Episode 5, is a testament to that. So without further ado, I am Tiago with Attack on Tiago, and for today's video, I'll be going over Vinland Saga Season 2, and its newest episode, Episode 5. But for those who have never seen Vinland Saga and are maybe debating on starting it, here's a quick synopsis. Thorfinn, son of one of the Vikings' greatest warriors, is among the finest fighters in the merry band of mercenaries run by the cunning Askeladd, an impressive feat for a person his age. However, Thorfinn is not part of the group for the plunder it entails. Instead, for having caused his family great tragedy, the boys vowed to kill Askeladd in a fair duel. Not yet skilled enough to defeat him, but unable to abandon his vengeance, Thorfinn spends his boyhood with the mercenary crew, honing his skills on the battlefield among the war-loving Danes, where killing is just another pleasure of life.
熱くなっちゃダメ。修行が足りないぜ、坊や。くそが。
Now, for many people watching Season 2, they may be a bit disappointed at the moment. So far, there's been a lot less battles. Thorfinn hasn't really done a whole lot since he's kind of in a depressed state. The new characters are nothing compared to the likes of Askeladd or Thor's. So, Tiago, why has Season 2 exceeded your expectations may be what some of you are wondering. So I'll get into that, and then wrapping it up with the newest episode and why it's one of Vinland Saga's best yet. So for starters, everyone who wants Season 2 to be just like Season 1 should just erase that notion from their memory. It's not happening. Season 1 was a perfect prologue to set up the series. It gave background to the two characters that will drive the course of Vinland Saga forward, Thorfinn and Canute, and set up their motives, their struggles, and their existence perfectly. What Season 2 is showing the next step of both of their journeys. Time has passed. Both characters aren't the same as they once were, and the times and setting have certainly changed. So with Thorfinn, for example, we only saw him as an aggressive, battle-hungry kid in Season 1 with one clear motivation: to kill Askeladd. That was all there was to his character, yet it worked for the story. But with Askeladd dead, Thorfinn's character in Season 1 essentially died. So with Season 2, of course Thorfinn will be different, and it's a good different. It's a layered different. There is so much more to Thorfinn's character here in Season 2 than in Season 1, and that's just 5 episodes in, where he doesn't even really appear in 2 of those 5 episodes. Thorfinn is a slave to the farm, and is head-driven to doing his tasks every day. But why is he doing these tasks? What is he trying to accomplish here? Does he want to stay a slave forever? On top of this, Thorfinn struggles sleeping as he is suffering from PTSD from war and also reliving his only goal in life taken away from him in front of his eyes. This is a Thorfinn struggling to decide whether to live or to die. One of the best scenes so far in Season 2 was when Fox was slashing at Thorfinn. He was trying to intimidate him and scare him by slashing him, but only to no avail. Thorfinn didn't even blink when he sliced off part of his ear. But then when Snake came and was about to slash at him, Thorfinn's survival instincts kicked in as he blocked Snake's blade. Again, showing that inner struggle on whether he wants to live or die. And clearly part of him wants to live. But we have yet to see what that reason will be, which is fascinating. Now, I talked a lot about Thorfinn, which is understandable since he is the main character and it's his arc driving a lot of Vinland Saga so far. But now I wanted to get into the newest episode, Episode 5, which really is the reason for why I wanted to make this video. At the start of Episode 5, we see some troops marching with a blonde-haired guy on horseback in front of them. We then get a flashback to the end of Season 1 when Askeladd cuts off the king's head. And we see then the blonde guy on horseback is Canute. Canute and his troops head to a battlefield where then he encounters Thorkel, who's one of the strongest fighters in Season 1 and one of my personal favorite characters. Thorkel was angry at Canute, since Thorkel of course is battle hungry and wants the head of the opposing leader, while Canute so far has been trying to win battles with less bloodshed and truce. Thorkill tells Canute, no matter what you do, you won't be able to avoid war. You have no choice but to carve your path with iron and blood, in which Canute actually agrees with him.
なぜだ？一理ある。貴重な忠告だ。裏表のない男だ。あやつのように生きられるなら痛快であろうな。行くぞ。
The next scene is where things then get interesting. Canute is in Mercia and is set to go to war with Aethelred, Canute's brother, and the current king. Adric, one of Aethelred's followers, has brought 8,000 pounds of silver to give to Canute to leave Mercia. But Canute declines the offer and says this is an insult. Why is this an insult? Since Adric is telling Canute to leave his own territory when he's here to quell the rebellion in his domain, not for any wealth. Canute then tells Adric to instead betray Aethelred and poison him, and ultimately bring him his head. Adric of course declines, so Canute tells him to follow him outside. Canute then has one of his men light a signal flare, which confuses Adric, but then Adric looks off in the distance and sees smoke from an area, and then more smoke from another area, and more smoke from another area, until everywhere he looked, Mercia was covered in smoke. Adric fell and was shivering in fear at the might and domination of Canute. We see then a compilation of how Aethelred died suddenly to illness, hinted at being poisoned. The crown then passes to his son Edmund, and then he dies suddenly to illness, also hinted at being poisoned, until finally Canute takes up the crown. It is finally the king. What an episode. Now remember how I mentioned how this is Thorfinn and Canute's story. Now remember Canute in Season 1. Canute was a coward of a prince, with no goals and no stakes in the matter. He wanted nothing to do with war. But slowly but surely, we see him grow during Season 1, beginning really when Ragnar died. And now Canute is king, and has defeated his brother and nephew. The dynamic between Thorfinn and Canute's journey is astounding, almost polar opposites right now. One goes from war hungry to someone who wants out of war, while the other is the exact opposite. That's the backbone of Vinland Saga Season 2, and has been portrayed perfectly in just 5 episodes. We'll continue seeing the two character story arcs unravel during the course of the season, and I am here for it. So far, Mappa has exceeded my expectations with adapting this arc and positioning the two key characters.
正式にイングランド王となる。
Well everyone, that is it for the video. Are you watching Vinland Saga Season 2? And if you are, what are your thoughts on it? Please let me know in the comments. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It really means a lot to me. I am Tiago, Attack on Tiago, and I hope you all have a nice day.